everyone. This is the Deep Rooted Podcast, created by Midnight Entertainment, executive produced by Hustle Vision Entertainment. I am your host, Anubis MN. Today with me, I have a very special person. This is one of our new co-hosts. Sorry, sis, if you don't mind, I want to go ahead and introduce her.
Sure.
Lady Shay.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Lady Shay. I'm very excited and very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
That's it, we do. And then for my co-host here, my ace boom coon, the person that started it all, go ahead, introduce yourself for the people again.
Hi everyone, this is Aisha. I know that you remember me from season 1 of Deep Rooted. I'm happy to be here again. Well, you already know you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is ishkapish215, and if you want to add me on Facebook, it's Aisha FYO Powell.
Same here. You can always find me on Facebook at Dominic Powell, DOMINICK POWELL, and Instagram you can find me at well, it's different now. Instagram ended up deleting my previous business account, but you can find the new one at mne.llc. Also on my personal Instagram, AnubisMN.
Anubis.
And where can they find you at?
Well, they can find me Simply Shay on Instagram.
Okay.
So, now that we're getting back into the swing of things, I know it's been a moment since you guys have heard from us. We did have a very great interview with Councilman Darrell Booker at the beginning of the year. He is a phenomenal brother. He is a phenomenal brother doing a lot for the community. And to keep going through the swing of things, we're going to continue doing more interviews of high-profile people. Also of a few artists, everything, get you guys acclimated to the newness of the show. We want to expand. We want to broaden our horizons. So I know we usually have a bull that we draw from when it comes to our topics. That's where everybody knows us for. We're synonymous with that. But we're going to do something new. We have a lot to discuss, especially with the current things going on, the current state of the world, for the most part of America now. We want to talk about the coronavirus and starting a business during this pandemic, the importance of it. Right now, during American history, we've seen, wow, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot, especially when it comes to chemical warfare, germ warfare, and everything. But this is something that it's on a different level. It's on a different level simply due to the whole world was affected by it. And though the whole world they're healing from it, they're moving on from it, it seems that it's still going on in America because people aren't doing what they're supposed to do.
That part. I feel like a lot of what happened, like a lot of what escalated the pandemic, number one was like a lot of people didn't take it serious in the beginning, and of course I'll be number one person to say I wasn't taking it serious because you hear about viruses all the time. We had swine flu and all types of different stuff comes up. It's almost every year that is something different. But on this scale, I feel like we just didn't take it serious, and people still was going out to clubs, still was going out partying, still want to go to social gatherings and different stuff like that. But I don't think that people realized just how serious it was until it hit closer to home, because it was overseas at first and everything. But the numbers, I feel like that's still, they could be fabricated because there's been a lot of different things on the media where they'll try to make it seem like, oh, there's so many people in these hospitals, and then come to find out it was actually dummies to
that it was all staged. And
and then also
wasn't even on.
That some of the clips were actually from Italy of people in the hospitals instead of it being from here. So I mean, even though you had stuff like that with our media trying to make it seem a lot worse than what it was. We're not going to take away from the severity of it.
Right.
But I know that a lot of people were affected by the coronavirus, and it's really good that they've been able to assist a lot of people and help, because a lot of people have lost their jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I was able to work from home, but of course, with me having the baby, I actually had to, my mom missed out on that experience with me. So it was a lot of stuff that, affected a lot.
Yeah.
So, do y'all want to talk about how the coronavirus affected y'all?
Really, sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, like you, Isha, I didn't really take the virus seriously, which was the complete opposite of my mother. She was very serious, like, you can't come visit, stay there in Philly, and I understood it. I don't want to say I took it as a joke, but for me, I'm the kind of person that when we get news like this, I kind of wait till it plays out a little bit, see what happens, and kind of to piggyback off of what you've already spoke on about, the fabrications of the number of viruses that were reported.
Right.
Another thing is the hospitals were instructed to just write down that the patients had coronavirus without the patients actually even being tested.
Right.
And that's a problem, because these numbers are going up and up, and they're not the true numbers. So Americans, they're afraid, everybody's scared and things like that, and it's not really the truth. So it was a lot with the virus. I did begin to take it seriously because there were people, not necessarily close to home, but people that I knew that knew other people that were dying from the virus supposedly and things like that.
Right.
I still wasn't certain, but as the numbers grew, I was like, there might be some truth to this a little bit. These many people aren't dying, that often.
Right.
So I did begin to take it seriously, just a bit, wearing my mask and trying my best not to be involved in, large gatherings and things like that. But, honestly, I'm still trying to figure it out.
Right.
I do take it seriously just as a precaution. I hang around you guys. You have a new baby. I'm just not out here totally. I don't care. I ain't wearing no mask. So I do take precautions to a certain extent, but at the same time, I am still trying to figure it out.
Right.
Like you, thank the universe. I was able to work from home as well.
Right.
So I'm grateful for that. And I know we'll get into this in just a minute, but I know that the pandemic has casted a dark shadow over America, over the world pretty much, but I do think that there has been a lot of positivity that has come from this.
Right.
I think we'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
Of course. During these times, though things have been different, because before the virus even broke out, me and my sister already had to deal with some troubling issues where we had a house fire. Our house wasn't one of the ones that were actually on fire, but on our block, 9 homes were on fire. Ours receiving smoke damage. So we had to find a new place, which is why you see us in a new locale. We're not in at the normal couch that you see us on when it comes to the podcast. But we were able to make it through, and next thing you know, a virus hit. We have a whole global pandemic going on. But we stayed together, we stayed strong. Unfortunately, I myself did know a few people that did pass from the virus. Very good friends. I found out a brother of mine had the virus also, and he had to be put on a respirator. But he's better now. He's healed. He's doing much better. He's can do backflips now. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's beautiful to see there are people actually recovering from it. We still have to be careful. We still have to do the best we can. I know, when it comes to the numbers, they have been fabricated, but we still have to do the best we can, making sure that ourselves, our loved ones, and those that we come in contact with are safe.
Absolutely.
what we want to do now, though, let's get into about creating a business during this pandemic, because right now I've actually seen more entrepreneurs, more black businesses starting to come into fruition than I have in my 28 years. It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. It's awe inspiring. It's like it fills you with the ambition to do your own also. Whether it's investing in the stock market, which is low, but how things are right now, that's the perfect time that you want to invest into it.
Exactly.
Also, if you want to get into real estate, if you want to get into owning your own t-shirt brand, your own apparel company, when it comes to hell, even when it comes to eating healthy, when it comes to exercising, all that is starting to flourish. Fashion, healthy eating, apparel, like all that is starting to flourish. And one, as a business owner myself, I'm actually able to converse more with people that are more like me, people that are entrepreneurs. And it's kind of hard in the beginning because you do have business ideas, you want to speak to people, but a lot of people are more groomed to be employees rather than the boss. So you really can't have the conversation that you need to learn what you need to with others. But now that everybody is starting to be more prevalent in today's society, I'm telling you, I have met more business owners than I've had like anyone else, and it has me fired up. It has me fired up. What do you think about it in this situation?
Well, I think that the pandemic, it helped people have more time because one of the things a lot of people didn't have was time. So you have people that of course work 40 or more hours a week, and even if you have the inspiration and the aspirations to become a business owner, or you have ideas as to what you want to do as far as the business aspect, a lot of people just did not have the time. So one of the things that kind of opened up that lane for people and gave them time, and some people actually got assistance with the small business loans and stuff like that. It just gave them a better opportunity to be able to step back, take a breather, because some people could have been overwhelmed. With everyday life, and that's one of the greatest things about it, because it gives them a lot of the opportunities to just be at home and do some research and catch up on a game plan as to what they want to do and how they want to go about it, and that's one of the best things about it. That's what I feel like, because now that people have time to step back from a job that's probably stressing them out, or even if it's not stressing you out, even if it's just taking up all of your time, you can just focus on yourself, because some people, I'm not going to say it's wrong, some people would like to just work for a company and retire from a company. But, if you want to live outside of that and you want to create a life of luxury for yourself, and not saying that you can't have luxury without being a business owner, but if you want to be able to be free and, clock in when you want, do whatever that you want by yourself, then I feel like it's best to try to do things that's going to be passive income for you. And that's one of the things that comes from, owning your own business and doing different stuff on the side, even if it is just on the side.
Yes, so kind of to piggyback off of, what you mentioned, I think what you said was great. Most people, they're working 8 hours a day, right? Some 10, some 12. So now that most people are working from home, we do have that extra leeway to where we can spend time on the things that they may have put off. I don't have time because I'm at work. When I come home, I'm tired. I have to cook, I have to clean. But most people are working from home now. So they have the extra time to, put in the work, which I think is awesome, which is actually something which is true for me. I've been able to work on a couple of things that I've been putting off, for whichever reason, being at work, being tired, not being able to come home and work on things. So, I think, again, while the pandemic is, I don't want to say, it's not an entirely negative thing that has happened. It has opened so many doors for people. One of the things I was thinking, about when you were speaking was how Black people, we are just natural creatives, and I love that I see on social media, or I'm speaking to people out on the streets that I meet, or friends and family, and they have now turned their talents into actual businesses, whether they're cooking, whether they're designing and creating. I think it's amazing. So I think that the pandemic, while it has casted a negative light, or a dark light, and with the deaths and things like that, it has also created what will be which I say 2020, the year of Black millionaires and billionaires.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
And that's a great output.
Especially with you've seen a lot of layoffs when it came to this going down. With those layoffs, like you said, it ushered in people willing to work for themselves. Because a lot of people, if you're an entrepreneur, one thing's for sure, you do not like being on someone else's time.
Seriously.
You do not like someone else putting a value on you, how much your time is worth. And a lot of these companies that either, if you didn't get laid off, one, you just coming out just to work in this, you're not receiving any hazard pay.
And that's one of the things that I found to be kind of horrible.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely crazy.
For them to say that it's a respiratory disease or whatever you want to say that it is,
and I have two lung diseases, so
yeah, for people to have to be going out in that every day, and then you have the septic drivers. A lot of septic drivers actually they contracted it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we actually had a lot of septic drivers that passed from it.
Yeah, there were a few here in Philadelphia.
That's the one thing that I don't like, because I know that they assisted people with unemployment, and that's a great thing. But for people that's working and going out in this every day, there should also be that hazard pay, because it's people working in the hospitals, and my best friend, she works in a hospital, and I'm just happy that she is safe and that she is well. But for her to be working in a hospital, and then these hospitals are making them work with people who have the coronavirus, there should be some type of compensation for that, because you have to come home to your family.
Exactly.
Well, no, a lot of these people actually couldn't even go home to their families.
Yeah.
They had to see their families through glass doors.
And that's
because
sad.
they're working with people who have the virus, so they, it's a possibility that they have it on them also. So they would actually have to go into self-isolation just to make sure that they don't bring it back to their families. It's ridiculous to not receive hazard pay for it, and then if you didn't receive hazard pay and you've been going to work, a lot of jobs have been doing, they would give you a little bonus. Like with my company, they gave me like a it was supposed to be a $250 bonus. I only seen 140 of it because they tax your bonus. And this didn't even amount to what I spent going back and forth to work. So how is that fair? Now, they did that to me. Imagine what they did to other people.
Yeah.
That is not fair at all.
It's not fair at all.
But that's why it's great to go into business for yourself, because one, you can clock in on your own time. You give yourself value. Whatever you work on, if you do t-shirts, you can create a shirt from $20. Hell, you can even create a shirt from $15 to $60. You put that value on it because that's your blood, sweat, and tears in it.
Absolutely.
Whether you're sitting here doing, you're doing art, whether you're drawing people, whether you're painting, whether you're doing digital art, creating comics, whatever, you put that value on yourself. This is like the best time, because now people have the time for that.
You're right. You're definitely right.
All the things that you never had the time to do, like we were saying before, you have the time right now to invest into yourself. Just imagine, we've been going through this for about 4 months.
Yeah,
I would
about
say
mid-March.
Yeah.
In 4 months' time, you investing into yourself, you can literally make more than what you've been making working at another job, working for someone else, working for some. You could work on your dream and make more than you would working on someone else's dream.
I say that all the time. I'd rather work and create my dream versus working and create someone else's dream. And that's essentially what, most of us are doing. And again, I feel like entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, right? I've seen like a couple of memes on social media saying, well, if you don't come out of this virus or out of this lockdown with your own business, you're lazy and things like that. And I don't think that that's necessarily true. Yeah, not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur. And that's okay. We need people that are going to school to become lawyers and doctors that look like us, right? Not everybody can be, an entrepreneur. But for those of us who are, and we feel it, we know that it's in us, now is definitely the time to do so, especially if you're working from home, or even if you aren't working from home and you're actually just laid off. Now is the time to put your, bring your dreams into fruition.
Right. I see, like a lot of people now have actually gotten into it. If it's not the healthy food, if it's not designing your own apparel, if it's not creating, works of art, paintings, sketches, if it's not like beauty products, skincare products, which is that's something that's big and on the rise now too.
Definitely.
A lot of black-owned skincare products that are literally having people glowing. People are actually a lot of people are getting into gaming also, which I'm lazy in a sense because I'm a gamer myself, but I can actually get into gaming and make money from it. I've done it before. It was just like it wasn't my passion. It wasn't my passion.
Right.
See,
I need to get on it.
Don't call yourself lazy. If it's not your passion,
if I could
it's not
do
your
it,
passion.
I would do it because
I'm an entrepreneur though. That's something that I do need to get into because I love doing it. So it makes sense that like while I'm doing it, I can still get paid for it. I wasn't lazy. My attention was focused elsewhere.
Yeah. Exactly. You were working on other things or building other things, and it's okay. Sometimes it's important for us to focus on one thing at a time as opposed to trying to focus on three things. That's all.
My tips and advice when it comes to having your own business also is, one, do not spread yourself thin. Do not do it.
Exactly.
I've done it before, and it cost me a lot of money. And I was sitting in a position where I was like, wow, I don't have nothing to offer anyone. But it still was, it was growth. It was growth that I needed. So now I was able to focus on getting a couple things together. One thing, book bags. People have been interested in my book bags for the longest.
Yes. They're dope.
And I've put a lot of money out trying to find like the perfect book bag to be able to, put my company on, put designs on, and I've finally been able to do it. And people are loving them. Like it does my heart good because my community is supporting me after, me struggling for so long. My comic book, it was trial and error with that. Trial and error, putting out a lot of money. With that, I'll get back into it, but I have to make sure that all my ducks is in order first, because that's going to be the one that it costs a lot of money to make comic books. Marvel and DC, they put it out easily, they put it out like that, but it's actually a lot of money involved when it comes to that process.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I had to learn that. So, for the people that's in it, don't give up. Do not give up. Whether you're the penciler, whether you're the illustrator, whether you're the colorist, inker, whatever, even the publicist, do not give up, because people are out here, they're working their hardest just to be able to get their books across. When it comes to, so more tips also. One, have your goals, short term, long term, and your projections. where you see yourself, how you're going to get there. It's something that is very important when it comes to your business. You always want to make sure that you have your goals. What your company is going to be doing, how it's going to get there, what it's going to be doing in the next 10 years, how it's going to get there. Whether it's, signing contracts with someone, whether it's going into business with someone else, whether it's opening up a new shop or a new franchise somewhere, you always want to have your goals and then your projections. Also, what else? What else? It's just so much that has to do with business.
Well, you can also add to a tip, always be looking at something that can improve that.
Exactly.
So, I know a lot of people, you have your starter kit as to what you want your business to do and how you want it to start off. But when you do have that together and you have your business started, then you also want to look into, okay, now that I have how can I improve it? What can I do to make it better?
Right.
And of course that comes from feedback of your customers and stuff like that. But also as the entrepreneur, as the boss, you have to be looking at, okay, what can I do? What do I think will make this go further? Because even though feedback is going to help you get your business to that next level, it's also up to you to do the research and to progress yourself and your company.
Yes. You always have to.
If you have a team, more the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so big. Having a team. I think we spoke about that. I'm not sure how many times. The importance of having a team and not trying to do everything on your own. If your business will be more successful. If you have a team. And you're helping each other out, and you're not, like you said, spreading yourself thin. So that's pretty important as well.
It is.
That is a pretty good tip. And also what you were mentioning, you always want to evolve your business, right? You don't want to just, okay, I have this plan, I have this idea for my business, that's it, let me just put it out there.
Right.
You always want to be thinking, always want to be working, what can I do, how else can I promote this? And you want to be creative, you want to stand out from your competitors.
Right.
So you always want to be looking and listening to your customers, as you mentioned, but also just trying to stand out. Also studying your competition.
Right.
Right.
And studying their weaknesses, just dropping some gems here, studying their weaknesses and seeing how you can capitalize off of their weaknesses and make it your strength.
That is true.
That's one of the ways you succeed.
Because
Business growth is self-growth.
Yeah, because
Yes.
some people, they take it, and I know, a lot of people, they're like, there's already somebody with this idea, why would I do that? And, you could feel like that. I know some people do feel like that, but you gotta think about it. Look at how many bread companies there are. Same idea, it's just sold to you different.
Go down the bread aisle, you'll see maybe 20 different companies.
And just because somebody has the same idea, even if it's selling lip gloss, even if it's selling keychains,
makeup,
what's going to make yours different? What's going to make you stand out? And to be honest, that's the deciding factor when someone is going to spend their money.
Absolutely.
What makes this product better than the next?
And it's great to have healthy competition.
It definitely is.
Because look at McDonald's and Burger King. They're always in the same area.
They are.
When you see one, you see the other.
Very true.
You do.
When it comes to car dealerships, they were always in the same area right across the street from each other.
Next to each other.
Gas stations, same thing.
Wow.
Same area right across the street from each other.
That's a great point.
Healthy competition.
Yeah.
Healthy competition. Also, another tip. Always accept criticism.
Yeah.
Not meaning that if a person says, "No, I don't like their product and stuff," it's not for me. That's an opinion. That's not criticism. But even if a person were to do that, still take it. Okay, it's not for them. Why isn't it for them? They didn't. Okay, I can't do this, and this, they were like that. You will always want to accept criticism because that's a part of growth. How do you know if your product, say my book bag, to me, it's amazing. It's my company logo on and everything. It's amazing. But to someone else, it's not good enough. It could be more to it.
Right.
If a person gives me advice and their opinion, I'm going to accept both because it's criticism.
Absolutely.
So, these gems we want to drop on everyone. If you're looking to, one, create your own business, create your own brand, create your own time. Always, always, always accept criticism. Always be looking for growth. Check your demographics, who you want to sell to.
Absolutely.
This is very important when it comes to the business world. You guys can always join the discussion. We actually have a new YouTube for the Deep Rooted Podcast on Midnight Entertainment. It will also still be on Hustle Vision Network, so you can check either or. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, join in, we'll respond. We're going to take a break real quick, and we'll be back for more.
There were reports of a new species.
So we are back. Deep Rooted Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. Alright, so everybody, you already know what time it is. This is Entrepreneur of the Week. I want to introduce a very, very unique, a very cool clothing line that just came out called Urban Roots Wear, that was created by your own Lady Shay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let
Thank
us
you.
know a little bit about Urban Roots Wear.
Okay, so Urban Roots Wear came about because I wanted to create a brand of clothing that would represent our people, our culture, our community, and what we stand for. So I wanted to integrate all of that, as well as education. As you'll see if you visit Urban Roots Wear on Instagram and Facebook, there are products that, again, not only represent us, but also educate us. So I wanted to kind of include all of that in the brand. So you guys should go check it out.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Make sure that you go check out Urban Roots Wear,
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, so
Follow, like, subscribe,
Share.
and share.
and
Yes.
hit that bell notification.
Yes.
Let's get this lady out here. Support the system.
I appreciate you guys.
Alright, so are you ladies ready to discuss our second topic?
Yes.
Sure am.
So we actually are. So this topic is actually going to be on a very controversial subject because
Very.
as everyone knows, right around this time, Nick Cannon, he actually got fired from what's the station?
What was it, MTV?
It's
Well, it's
Viacom.
It's under Viacom.
Yeah, so he actually got fired from Viacom because he basically said he said a statement that a lot of people didn't really agree with. And Shannon, do you want to go ahead and
Sure
play
can.
that for us so that we can let our viewers hear it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's up to people here for those who aren't caught up on the situation?
Where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate. So then they're acting out of fear, they're acting out of low self-esteem, they're
this is the thing. They fired Nick Cannon for supposedly making anti-Semitic comments, which you actually see they do a lot. They'll preach a lot of Semiticism, but this is the crazy thing. Melanated people, we cannot preach anti-Semiticism because we are the Semites. How are we going to sit here and talk about something that is anti-us? As the original people of this globe and so this world, how can we sit here and say hate speech to people that are us? Like, no. What he said was all facts. All facts. You can sit here, you can look in history books, you can Google it, you can go to Wikipedia and everything. Like, he speaks all facts. And he's being torn down by, first he lost his job, which is why a lot of people don't see Wild 'N Out coming on anymore. Instead, they show reruns of, if I remember the day that it happened, they were showing a rerun of The Fresh Prince. But that's the reason why you don't see Wild 'N Out coming on anymore. You only see it on YouTube. Simply because the people that own Viacom CBS canceled the show. And anything else that Nick Cannon has been working on, anything else that you've seen him on, he spoke the truth. He spoke the truth. But people see it is that he were talking about Jewish people. Which, in all actuality, Jewish, that's what the term comes from, Jewish. You're not the original Jews. Of course, if you go into history books, melanated people are the original Jews. If you want to go further back, the Zulus actually have the oldest tradition when it comes to Jews. You're not Jewish because of your religion. You're Jewish actually because of what you do. And like, to go back to what Nick Cannon was speaking on, it's factual. It's factual. You look through history, you'll see that. Also, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan spoke on that also. All he spoke was the truth. And this goes to show you when you're working for someone else, even though you have your own show, that when you're working for someone else, whatever you say is liable to be held against you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what happened to Nick Cannon. But what's even more tragic is that with him saying that, he felt like he hurt some of his friends, some of the notable people that he know. So he went back and apologized for it. Which, me, myself, I believe he shouldn't have done that. Like, you should have, instead of publicly apologizing, you should have went and you should have spoke to them on it. But this is the thing, like, now this man's whole career is like messed up, and then when he apologized, his own community turned on him.
Yeah.
His own community turned on him. And this is someone that's been literally giving jobs to people in our community. Mm-hmm. This is someone that's been fighting for our community. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Turned on him.
Well, see, my take on it. Like, number one, I don't feel like he was wrong for saying what he said.
Right.
And, if you look into history, number one, and, especially when we look into our textbooks, even when we were taught in school, mm-hmm. when they're showing pictures of cavemen, it looks more similar to white people. Mm-hmm. And, even when they're talking, like, scholars have come forward and said, black people are the only people that are 100% human.
We do not have rhesus monkey DNA.
Neanderthal.
Yeah.
None of that.
You can't even really carbon date us to find out like when we came into being, because as carbon-based beings, you can't do that. We don't have any primate DNA in us. You can't sit here and trace us back to cavemen. It's impossible. You cannot do that.
Exactly. But even when you talk about the evolution of history, we, well, I'm not going to say we, but the people of our descent were actually the ones that introduced bathing and introduced, fire
The
and
norms.
different ways of hunting. All of that was introduced to them. So, I
Which
mean,
you
why
see,
is
on the topic of introducing fire, you see they said that it was a titan called Prometheus
Mhm.
that actually introduced them to it. You go back in history also, we were actually venerated as gods.
Mhm.
Yes, we were.
A lot of heroes that you see when it comes to ancient Greece are actually God. Ancient Greece and Roman are actually black people.
Right.
Even Andromeda. Andromeda is actually was from African queen.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So excuse me, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
You lost what you was. sorry. My
Sorry,
bad.
No, because
I
trust
had
me,
to
all
ruffle
of
some
that,
feathers
all
right
of that
there.
information is definitely necessary.
Yeah.
But why it's touching them the wrong way about them being savages and being closer to animals. I'm not going to say you're an animal at all, but as far as him saying you're savages, I mean that's basically what it came from. Like cavemen were known as savages, and y'all had pride in being barbaric and stuff like that any other time, and for him to say it out of his mouth, then you feel offended. And number one, I feel like he shouldn't have took it back, because if you say something and it's knowledgeable and factual, you shouldn't take back your statement, because number one, I understand that in the industry and entertainment and stuff like that, you have to take back and go back on what you meant to say, because you might lose endorsements and stuff like
I
that.
actually believe that's the reason why he did that.
Probably
It's
so.
for endorsements
Possibly.
and for his job.
Yeah, because of course, we all don't want to lose money out of our pockets, but if you can't say something that's factual, and that's not you being opinionated or anything, you just speaking on something that is a known fact,
Right.
I feel like you shouldn't have to retract that just because somebody feels a certain way about it. Because, it's a lot of people that say exactly what they want to say, and because of their skin color, they're able to still work their jobs.
That
Doesn't
part.
matter if people are offended or not.
President Trump.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
excuse me.
Yeah, look at our president.
Tommy Lauren. Oh damn.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's that Rona.
But
Excuse me.
I feel like they just tried to do that to make an example of him. Because
That's exactly
Nick Cannon is he's very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a black person that's intelligent, especially when you start speaking on something that's going to make them look less, take them off of that throne that they're trying to claim,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they want to be upset.
Especially when you have a platform that is able to reach millions upon millions.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Lady Shay, what is your
Oh
reason
man,
is?
I mean, I'm just listening to everything that you guys were saying, and I, completely agree. I commended Nick Cannon for speaking on what you've already mentioned, facts.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just focus on that. What he spoke on was facts. He didn't back it
Facts.
up. He didn't pull it out of the sky. What he mentioned was facts, and it's unfortunate that white people, they don't want certain parts of their history to be put on blast, I'll say. They want to kind of keep this certain persona, and anytime somebody tries to mess with that, like you said, they try to make an example out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate, for Nick Cannon, because he's such a prominent individual in our community, and a lot of people look up to him. He's done a lot for our community.
Yeah.
And for him to take it back, I was a bit disappointed. However, I won't cast him out. I won't cancel him,
Right.
No.
which is what a lot of our people have done. I won't say everyone. He had a reason for what he did. I don't know the exact reason. We can only speculate,
Mm-hmm.
what his reasoning was for taking it back. It could very well be because he has friends that are Jewish, and he didn't want to offend them specifically, and maybe he thought that making a public apology was necessary to kind of smooth things over. I think that when you are speaking on facts and what you're stating may offend other people, I don't think that he should have gone back on that. Again, I don't want our people to cast him out as someone we can't look up to anymore.
Right.
You know, I think that's very important. I think that we still need to support Nick Cannon. Although I don't agree with him taking it back, I think we still need to support him. He has done so much for our community, as I've stated, and you know, I think it's important to continue to support him. I mean, that's pretty much what I feel on that in short, really.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing, like, for the people that, for our people, our community that are bashing Nick Cannon, for the most part, a lot of people need to sit here and reevaluate themselves.
Exactly.
Because first and foremost, we don't get on. Honestly, we really don't get on any white person that sit here and say anything about us. Hell, look at Trump. Look at what's Biden and stuff. Like he told someone that
if you don't vote for Biden, then
you're not
We're
black.
not black, like,
And you know,
And black people, like, yo, we let that slide.
we let
Are
a lot
we
of stuff
really
slide,
okay with
unfortunately.
this?
I feel like they probably let it slide with Biden because a lot of people look at it like, okay, Obama was president, and whether he was great, exceptional, or people thought he was the worst, Biden was right there with him.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of black
That
people, you know, they look at it like, you know what, first black president, and they probably don't look at everything that was done from Obama.
Which Obama gave us hope because a melanated person
They look like us.
was finally president of the United States.
Mhm.
Which, if you want to go back in history, the first president of the United States was actually a black man. White people went to a black man to lead them. But you could go ahead and look that up in your own time, bring it back. Obama gave us hope because at the point in time that we're at, we were able to see a melanated man become president of the United States.
Mhm.
He didn't do anything for our community though.
Right.
Joe Biden, yeah, he ran with, President Obama, and there was like funny as hell memes about Biden,
Yeah.
but what we're seeing now is actually who Biden is. First and foremost, this motherfucker is a pedophile.
It
You
seems
see
like all of them
you
are.
see the videos, you
Everybody.
see him kissing little girls, filming on little girls and everything. Like, this dude is a pedophile. This dude is prejudiced. And then he also took place in signing bills where our people face the ass end of the deal. Like, nah, like, fuck Biden also. Fuck Trump. Like, this whole election is the same thing as how it was with Trump and Hillary.
And Hillary.
All
Yeah.
you're doing is voting for your master.
Is voting
All
for
you're
the
doing
lesser.
is
evil.
voting for the lesser
Yeah.
of two evils. That's
Mhm.
all this is. I've said it before, as black people, as melanated people, whichever you want to go by. Until we're taken seriously, we need to hold our vote. It's no voting for this person to get that person out of the office. No, we need to hold our vote, and then we also need to groom our own politicians. Not even that. On the subject of Nick Cannon, we need to sit here and create our own platforms.
Yes.
Because
yes.
if you create your own platform, especially one with people that have your same ideologies and everything
Mhm.
like that, you won't have to worry about being fired just because you say something.
Exactly.
And, you know, for me, I feel like Nick Cannon, he didn't say anything racist. He didn't say anything that was demeaning.
He did not say anything wrong.
He just spoke.
facts.
You do
That's
not
like-
need to apologize for not saying anything wrong, for not doing anything wrong.
Exactly. That's like, you know, an African that was actually a warrior wouldn't get mad because you say, oh, they fought with spears. You're just speaking facts.
Right.
Mhm.
So just because it's a time where, you know, you felt like you were less superior, I don't feel like somebody should apologize for that. If you're going to embrace history, embrace all of it.
Which is what
Right.
it is. It's
Right.
in all actuality, it's how do I say it? Inferiority complex.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
The
gosh.
inferiority
Yeah.
complex.
Yep.
Because, well, for those who are more religious, if you read the Bible actually says that the young shall inherit the earth. Us melanated people, us being the original people on this planet, us being the aboriginals and natives, we put ourselves in a position where the young, the Caucasians, were able to inherit the earth and mold it into their own image, to be able to create society as it is now, where they're in control, and if you speak out against that, if you sit here and remind them at a point that they were inferior, they get sensitive to,
You're right.
and you're canceled.
And you know what? The one thing that, you know, I wouldn't say I found it funny, but the one thing that, like, I really had, like, an issue with, you know, when we were taught about Africa,
Mm-hmm.
you know, especially in school and stuff like that, you weren't really taught that Africa was, like, you know, that it had so many resources and that it was so much that Africa had to offer.
You remember that commercial with Sarah McLachlan that in the eyes of an angel.
All the
Gosh.
time. That's
Yes.
that was the concept that I pretty much got before, like, I started
Yeah.
doing research and stuff. Because when you find out that, you know, number one, it's funny to me how white people will claim themselves as Egyptian when it's in Africa. You don't want to claim any other part of Africa, and you want to make it seem like
White
there's such
people
a
and
third
Middle
world.
Easterns.
Yeah, you want to make it seem like it's such a third world country, but you want to claim that Egypt is a part of that white culture, and you can't really stand out in the sun without catching a blister.
Okay.
You know, that was,
As Nick Cannon said.
yeah, even in the hieroglyphics, it tells you they had white paint, but they never painted the skin as white because that was black. Their skin was black. Even their hairstyles. It mimics so much of us, and that's what they want
We
us
still
not
do
to
the
see.
hairstyles now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
still do them today.
That's what they want us not to see, because if you have people that awaken their true spirituality and you realize what you truly can be, if you're not playing into what they want you to be, then that's the thing that they fear. And that's why they don't want us to speak out. They don't want black people to be knowledgeable.
They don't want to be.
They don't want you to
other
read.
black people to be awakened.
'Cause
Yeah.
if you
They're
look
afraid
at
of
our
that.
buying power, first and foremost, when it came to wilding out, you literally had millions of people. Could have been billions. I don't know the analytics of it, but you literally had millions upon millions of people that tuned in to this show to laugh. You had, hell, you probably had, like, you know, millions of people that tried out just to be on that show to get a break. You know, some that actually did get a break that become very successful themselves. That tuned into this for this man. This man was a leader. I won't say was, like, of course, he's heartbroken right now. Like, if you actually look at his previous tweets, he's heartbroken right now because of how his own community turned on him. Where he's a leader in our community, he's a staple in our community. We need to protect this man.
Period. Not
We need to
everybody gets
protect
it
this
right.
man. Fight for him like he fought for us.
Exactly.
Fight for him like he fought for us, because, like, this is the thing. A lot of people always say, why aren't there any leaders in the black community? Why aren't there any leaders in the black community? Because our own people are so quick to turn on them.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But like I say all the time, let's not focus on those who don't have like minds. Let's not focus on those who procrastinate. Let's only focus on those that are willing to take the steps and move forward. Those that are like minds, those that are willing to take the steps, because this is the thing. If you're willing to turn on someone that literally fought for our community, that literally been in the ditches and stuff with us, especially
years.
when it came to police brutality,
He was in a mix.
what else are you capable of? So no, we need to protect Nick Cannon. We need to fight for him and everything. We need to create our own platform. Hell, like for those who are, great with coding, for those who are YouTube stars and everything, even those who, let's say, like, have their own shows and everything, we actually need to band together for this man.
Right.
And hopefully we'll be able to create our own station where we can put him on.
Yeah. I mean, I think Diddy did that. Diddy did offer him a position on his, was it his, oh gosh, what was it?
I know what you're talking about.
Revolt TV.
Yeah, Revolt TV, exactly. So he offered him to, come on Revolt TV, and have his show there. But I think there's still an issue with whether or not Viacom would give Nick Cannon,
No.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure. I think that there's still like a lot more to follow, regarding this whole
He
situation.
deserved it. All the seasons that he did, he put blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Man, listen, Wildin' Out wouldn't be Wildin' Out without Nick Cannon, period. I don't
Exactly.
care who else they try to bring on that show. If they try to replace him, there's other awesome MCs out there, but I don't know, there's just no replacing Nick Cannon and
Right.
Wildin'
And
Out.
watch
Like,
their
we need him.
views go down.
They will.
Watch
Yeah.
their
They're
because
going
this
to be
is
going
now.
down with me.
All the
I'm
Wild and Out
watching.
Cavs are rocking with
Yeah.
Nick Cannon.
I was curious about that. I haven't looked into that with the other castmates, if they were.
Oh, they
Oh,
rocking
they
with him.
support him. You can tell that they really support
I'm
him.
very glad to hear that.
He gave them a chance. They're grateful.
Yeah.
They're grateful.
As they should be.
Even though
They
like
should be
they
rocking
had
with
their
him.
own, I would say a lot of them had their own careers going on. So especially like you had a lot of battle rappers on there that were prevalent,
Right.
in the battle rap scene.
Right.
You had a lot of YouTube stars that were like, hilarious. People
Right.
loved them.
Right.
While and Out it was literally another income for them.
Right.
So this is what we want to do also, like we did for our last segment. We want to invite everyone else to join in on the conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
Even if you have to go to our personal outlets, and,
Yo, hit us up.
we're all
Hit
willing
us
to
up.
entertain you and
Absolutely.
converse with you.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you think because, we would like to hear some of your aspects and why you think the way that you think. Whether you think that he should have apologized or not,
Mhm.
whether you support him or not.
Right.
You can get in on all of that conversation with us. We're all willing to listen to you. And also, you can contact our Deep Rooted page. We're all going to have access to the Deep Rooted.
Yep.
Mhm.
And Midnight Entertainment. Yeah, so anything that you want to contact us on,
Welcome to the midnight.
yeah, welcome to the Midnight.
Welcome to the midnight, ladies.
So real quick, also, since I didn't really promote the new wares,
Oh, yeah.
I want to let everyone know that Midnight Entertainment, we now have the book bags, the Midnight Entertainment book bags,
Oh,
Deep Rooted book bags,
Yes.
Deep Rooted?
the
So
Deep Rooted
dope.
travel bags,
I love
and
it.
multiple colors, might I add you, as well as we have the hashtag King Shit book
I'm
bags,
sorry, my head is in the
which
way.
look phenomenal. They look phenomenal.
They're dope.
You can actually go on to the Facebook Midnight Entertainment LLC and the Instagram MNE.LLC and check out the recent photo shoot that we did with Tony Dadon of Hustle Vision Network. That we had a lot of good wares. We got a lot of good wares. We're also doing the dust-proof, washable, reusable face mask at the Midnight Entertainment icon. We also have hashtag King Shit, hashtag Queen Shit, and I Am Designer. And I'm looking to create some more. So
More to come.
more to come.
Lots
yeah,
more to
definitely.
come.
Lots more to
Real
come.
soon. In about a week's time.
Stay tuned. You just have to wait and find
All
out.
you have to do is do that. That's all you have to do is do that. So, what we always want to end you on is one, we have to sit here and we have to do better in our community.
Mhm.
We cannot be too quick to judge. For one, we have to see all the facts
First, yes.
because that's very important. We have to always see the facts first, all of them. And then we have to get together and speak on what we should do. So, of course, hit us up, join the conversation. We're responding to everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, share
Yes.
is very important. If you're on the Anchor app, follow. You can also donate because that's how we keep it moving. In the next few weeks, we will actually be back into our new setting in the Direct Philly, inside the gallery, or the Fashion District now,
Yeah, fashion.
in the
Yeah.
Philadelphia Mall.
Yeah.
So, thank you all again for listening and for viewing, for joining us, for giving us a moment to sit here and get, what we want off our chest.
Yeah.
This is the Deep Rooted Podcast, created by Midnight Entertainment, sponsored by Midnight Entertainment also, and executive produced by Hustle Vision Entertainment. Thank you. Stay safe. And we love you. Welcome to the Midnight.
Welcome to the midnight.